All right, station one, we're gonna use the grass, and we're gonna start on the end of the mat with feet about shoulder width apart, and then we're gonna do diagonal patterns from to the right and to the left. Diagonal patterns are really good for combining multiple planes of movement, and then also you're decelerating your body, which is very functional, helping to prevent for falls. So we're just gonna kind of step forward, step back, step to the left, step back, step to the right, step back, step to the left, and that's it. And we just do that for a minute, and that's going to get, it's going to use a lot of their explosive muscles and a lot of that deceleration and eccentric loading. It's going to make them stronger, faster. It'll make them sore, so you got to, just make sure if they want to make it easier, we can just do little ones. So maybe we have like just different medium, and then hard for the more advanced people. So again, we got easy, medium, and hard. Eyes up the whole time. I'm looking down the whole time. So that is something to look for. Keep your head up. Let them kind of get used to doing the movements with their head up and like knowing where their foot's going to go. Good for just kind of biofeedback. They can feel what their body's doing without looking at what their body's doing. So repetitions of this will be really good for reminding the brain how to use all the right, deceleration muscles, which are your fall prevention muscles. So that'll be station one. All right, because this is Mobility Monday, we're gonna do some mobility movements throughout the circuit. So I wanna do some hip flexion with people with a little hip opener. So just sitting up nice and tall, keeping their eyes and chest up. I think squeeze your shoulder blades back, keep your stomach nice and tight, and then, just open up the hips. And kind of, if they wanna do it slower, and then hold it, and then nice and slow on the way down. That'll really give them some nice feeling of some of those rotation movements in the hip, and also give them some good feedback on where some of those tightnesses are. So that will also, a lot of people will realize how much their knees are vulnerable with these movements. So this is good to really reinforce their knees at this position. So sitting up nice and tall, and we'll go one. We'll be just kind of bringing it in and out. And then two would be just bringing it up a little bit higher and holding it. And then three, I could make this a little more dynamic. We could do standing. Okay, so those will be kind of some easier progressions for people that are just getting started, to give them some different variations and some things that they could work on. And you could even progress that into even like balance holds would be good too. So have fun with that one. All right, this next one is gonna be for calves and lower legs. First progression is put the balls of the feet on the top of the roller so that their heels can be on the ground. So they're gonna start in a stretch position. They put their hands forward onto the table, and then they can lift their bodies straight up and down, and kind of just use the table for a little bit of balance, but trying to keep their eyes up, their chest up, and have them just balance. So this is a good balance and calf exercise, and being able to go through that full range and get the stretch on at the bottom gives it a nice loading, eccentric loading on the way down is really good for just total lower body strength. So that's very important. That would be number one. Number two, you could have them go up and down on one. That would be a, medium. And then a hard would be, you could just go up and down a little faster, actually, on one. Just kind of pulse it up and down and get those muscles nice and engaged, just kind of moving a little faster. That would be like a harder variation. So let's do that easy, medium, and hard. I don't like that. All right, this one's going to be assisted kneeling. We're gonna bring one knee down, both knees down, and then we're gonna bring one leg forward, and bring it back up. One leg forward, one leg up. And then, you know, they can start doing stuff with their hands to get a little deeper. So put your feet, hands forward. And then from there, if they want to push up and then back down, switch, they can work on some functional get-ups, which is super. This is really good for mobility for the hips. Any version of this. So those are the 3 versions. All right, well, this is step downs. So you can just step all the way down and push back up. Step all the way down and push back up. Put all the weight onto the front leg and then use both legs to get back up. That's your first version. Second version is one leg at a time and tapping your toe. So tapping the toe, tapping the toe, tapping the toe. And then the hardest is tapping your heel. So you have to put a lot more weight. And those are the 3 step downs. All right, this one is going to be for calves. We're going to put the foam roller flat side down, and we're going to just start with a stretch in our heel or our calves by pushing your heels down and trying to get the ball of the foot onto the top part of the roller. And then we're just going to go up and down and try to keep your eyes and chest and posture up, and the fingers are just for balance. And then eventually just try to control it without your fingers, get used to that balance. And then you can progress to one leg at a time. And then from there, you can go faster with it for the expert or hardest. This is my favorite station, personally. This is the dance station. Just move however you want to move here. All right, this is in real time. This is our balance station. Getting all the weight into one leg and getting the other leg doing some active stuff through the hip flexor. Switch it up. You just hold it, feel what muscles are working, see how the hips are leaning. That's a good one, just to, and then lift the chest up. I need to use these more. These muscles, I mean. Yeah, so just holding those for longer periods of time and getting deeper into the movement is going to be really tough and challenging. All right, we'll do a little functional pulling this week. We're gonna pull it out so we get some tension, and we're just gonna walk side to side. You want to get a little arc in your stride, so you got a kind of an equal pull. Have a little rotation here. That's fine. And then you just load up more weight if that's easy. That's at 30, so I'm gonna put it at 70. And then we got Now we got a little bit more pulling back on us. Feel all my upper body working. Very functional pulling movement while moving sideways, so you're kind of working some muscle patterns that you might not use on a daily basis living in America. And then you can just switch hands so that you give the other arm a chance to get the same amount of pull on the other side. And this will work your calves too. My calves are on fire. So that's a good functional posterior chain workout right there. Cool, that'll work. And then just go higher if it's easy. So on this one, on this station, we're gonna have a seat on the bench. Then we're gonna put our hands right next to our hips, and we're gonna slide our butt off the edge, trying to hold ourselves up with our hands, and then just again, and then just back and forth. Really pushing down with the arms. Teach people how to use their muscles that pull their shoulder blades down. This will be great for posture. So just repeating this pattern, just nice and slow. Make sure they don't go out too far. If they're worried about their shoulder, just keep it close. And then obviously that can go into holds, tricep movements, and so on and so forth. So you can go into the deeper ranges would be your next level progressions. All right, so we now have a bar to hold on to. It's got a little bit of play in it, so it's kind of dynamic, so people can just hang on it. Use their feet to kind of offload their arms and get better at holding, and coming all the way down. So just hanging around. All right, so the first station doesn't need anything set up because it's just space. And then the second station, we just put the treatment table against the wall, sitting there, and then doing the step ups here. So we got 1, 2, 3. Then we come over here to step downs, is 4. And then we go over here to kneeling lunges, is 5. And then hanging around is 6. And then we'll go over here to just dance, where we're just gonna dance. And then here's stork stance, right here. First person perspective. Hi class. All right, and then we got the rope. So we got stork stance, and we got the free motion. Set up and whatever you think, probably start with like 30 for beginners. And then we go over to the tricep dip right here for the bench. Just put the bench out. And then we'll push the sled down. Just kind of go from, half the distance. And we can put the cone out. Cones are in here. Just grab a cone and put like a cone like right in the center of the floor. And then another one down there. And then that will be, we'll just do some agility right through here for number 12. Okay, that's the setup. Don't forget to put this up. And we got a chair next to the step up box. We got the foam roller, which you can just put up in there when you're done with it. We got a squishy mat, we gotta set that up. Other than that, it's not a lot of setup. All right, let me know if you have any questions.